We are talking this morning with this young man who has been pedaling bicycles for the past decade or so, Mark Wiewel from the Western Catholic Union. He's the president and CEO over there. And Mark has done a little project that he took on years ago. We're going to talk to him about that. And it's a significant one, too, because it has really raised quite a bit of money. So, Mark, first of all, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jeff. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
And let's talk about this. It's Bike for Food. It's a fundraising ride, and we've talked to you over the years over this, but I'm looking at the numbers here, and they're astounding. Almost $250,000 raised.
It is just astounding. When I started that the first year in 2006, the goal was to raise $1,000. And since that time, I've pedaled thousands of miles. Hundreds of people make donations, and the good Lord blesses their donations. And it is just astounding the amount of money that keeps coming in every year for this.
Yeah, last year, $37,000 alone was raised in your efforts, which is a fabulous thing that you're doing. And the money goes where?
Money goes directly to the food pantries, and 100% of the people that make the donations, 100% of your donations will go directly to the food pantry. Western Catholic Union, we cover my expenses, and so that way, in turn, and we match the first $500 that each food pantry gets in donations, and the donations can be in the form of cash, checks, food, toiletries, school supplies, anything of value, as long as they put the word bike, B-I-K-E, on their donation, or tell the person at the food pantry to count that towards the Bike for Food money that the food pantry has to raise.
Mm-hmm. And if my math is correct, there are 13 different pantries you're dealing with, right?
That is correct. Yeah, 13 different food pantries in 3 states.
And let's go back a ways here and flashback, I guess we'll say here. And where did the idea come from, and what made you get involved with this?
The idea came from, in 2005, I was pedaling a different bicycle, a trek bicycle, and I was trying to do a week-long ride. And the first day came to me and said, you know, it'd be nice to be able to do this and raise money for a cause. And anybody that knows me knows I'm a big guy, and I like to eat. And a food pantry made sense to me because people eat 365 days a year.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, obviously the need is out there, and we hear more and more about it each and every year, right?
Absolutely, and especially now with Quincy getting hit by this big storm. You know, there was a big need for people in food pantries. I mean, anybody drives by a food pantry can see a big line of people out there, and the line of people knows no boundaries. Could be your next door neighbors in line at the food pantry, and you may not know it, but by giving to them, you're helping them out. And WC, we're doing our part as a community servant in giving money to that cause as well, and with the whole thing of making people's lives a little bit better.
Yeah, and we're talking about pantries for Madison, Canton, Palmyra, Hannibal, Alton, and of course the pantries and several of them here in Quincy. Now, let's talk a little bit about what's going to take place on Sunday for you. You're going to be in northern Iowa, right?
I'm going to be in Sioux City, Iowa, with my 5 children and I, and we're dedicating this ride this year to my wife Karen, who passed away in January. And the first day is the killer day. It is 74 miles, and it's 4,200 feet uphill. And so hopefully we're going to get through that one okay. We've been training quite a bit. I've ridden my bike about 1,200 miles so far this year, and my kids have ridden their bikes anywhere from a couple hundred to about 700, getting ready for that. And then it'll be all the way across the Iowa from Sioux City to Davenport in 7 days.
So you plan to get to the Quad Cities by Saturday the 25th, it sounds like.
That's correct, yes. On the tradition with RAGBRAI, which stands for Register's Annual Great Bicycle Ride Across Iowa, is that you will dip your rear bike tire in the Missouri River. And we'll do that on Saturday so we can get an early start on Sunday. And then on Saturday, when you arrive in Davenport, the event ends on an island in the middle of Mississippi. It's called Credit Island. And you end by dipping your front tire in the Mississippi River.
So Missouri to Mississippi rivers, you cover the whole gamut there, it looks like.
Absolutely, and there'll be somewhere between 15 and 25,000 riders a day on this ride.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, of course, you're raising money, and people need to send you a check. I'm sure that's the best way to do it, right?
Actually, yes. We want them actually to send the check directly to the food pantry itself. And the food pantries, I'll just read them off real quickly here. Quincy Catholic Charities, Madonna House, Quincy Salvation Army, Ladies of Charity, Quinata Food Pantry, St. Francis Food Pantry, Horizon Food Pantry, GPS Ministries, Douglas Community Center in Hannibal, Palmyra Food Pantry, Canton Council of Churches, and Fort Madison Food Pantry. And just make the check payable to them, or you can take them your contribution. Or if you decide to give them cash, put it in an envelope or something, and just make sure that there's a note that says, with the word BIKE, B-I-K-E, on it. And again, they will count that, and you can give your donations to them all the way through the end of this year. And at the end of the year, then we will make our WC will make its match, the $500 match, and give it to the food pantries.
Okay, I think you left the Alton Catholic Charities off of there too, and I don't think they want to be left off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I did leave Alton Catholic Charities. Last year was my first year with Alton Catholic Charities, and they raised by themselves $30,000 from that.
That's incredible. It really is.
We'll be out there raising money, and again, this is our 10th year for Bike for Food, and I look forward to doing it for quite a few more years, and want to thank Y101 for having me on.
If they want to get in touch with you or someone involved with this, what do they need to do?
Absolutely. They can get a hold of me at Western Catholic Union. Our address is our phone number is in the book, but I'll just give it to you. It's 1-800-223-4928. Or they can send me an email to Wiewel, W-I-E-W-E-L, at WCULife.org. Or they can log on to our website, which will be up pretty soon. It's just going to be bikeforfood.org.
Mark, have a successful ride across the state, okay?
I appreciate it, Jeffrey. Take care.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Mark Wiewel with us this morning.